You always have a choice on how you respond to situations. We can't control other people's actions. We can't control, certain work environments. We can control what we do about these actions or these environments. But certain things itself, we don't necessarily have control over that. It's about controlling your controllables.
To some, boundaries are just placing limits. To me, it's where the limitless things begin.
Hello, 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 and thank you for tuning into the Boundaries and More podcast with Jess Abraham. I am your host, Jess Abraham, and today's episode is brought to you by Joyful Styles. Joyful Styles is a lifestyle brand that provides premium quality apparel that promotes joy and positivity. Joyful Styles believes how we approach a situation matters, and choosing to be joyful makes all the difference. You have the power, and it's time to embrace it. Let's go. Get your Joyful Styles gear at joyfulstyles.com. That is JOYFULSTYLEZ.com. Oh, make sure you get your discount code. Get that code from the listener perks. All right. Okay. Let's get into it. I'm super excited about to forget that part. I'm getting into it. So look, today's episode, oh man, I'm super excited for, because if we all get this concept and really focus on this, it'll change our lives forever. Like really applying this will change each and every one of our lives every single time we apply it. So I'm super excited. Today's episode is about controlling your controllables. Okay. Controlling your stressing the your, heavy on the your controllables, right? So like, as we know, things in life happen. Life happens. There's things in life that can happen. And sometimes there's things in life that happens that we have no control over. Now, with that said, there are things that we can do in life to set ourselves up to be prepared when the uncontrollables happen, right? Let's just follow me here. You can set yourself up in a way so when things happen, you can control. Like, for example, we can think about when COVID happened, right? Many people, unfortunately, lost their jobs. Things shut down. Certain things weren't deemed essential, right, at the time. Some people, it was really hard for during that time. Some people lost their income, didn't have anything to help them through that time for real, except the assistance that was given or that people provided to them. However, there were some people, right? There were some of us that set ourselves up in a way so when things like that happen in life, it doesn't really affect us as much because we controlled what we could, right? By setting ourselves up in a way that's saving, being financially prepared for things like that to happen, or just being prepared in a way for, like, when it comes to a job, right? Just being prepared. Being prepared for that to happen. Like, not necessarily that, but just being prepared for anything to happen. Right? Again, very, very unfortunate situations. It was just, bad for people all over the world. Because that happened, I hope what people got from that, because there's nothing we could have done about COVID happening, right? But I hope what people got from that is that if ever some other thing happened, just like COVID or COVID part 2 or whatever happens again in the world, they'll be better prepared, right? Controlling what they can control, setting themselves up to be better prepared for a situation like that. Again, control your controllable. We can't control what these companies do, who they hire, who they don't hire, etc. But you can control what you do about things that just happen in life, right? One of the things that, first, let me start by saying I believe that I know some people have kind of a negative association and connotation when it comes to the word control. Personally, I do not. I absolutely love having control in my life. People can say it's controlling. They can say whatever they like. That's fine. And I'll agree. Yep. Very, very controlling of the things that goes on in my life, right? Because I'm so comfortable with the word control, no matter what people may say about it, it gives me that sense. Because what it means to me, let me go back. What the word control means to me is me taking full responsibility for the things that happen in my life. Regardless of what that looks like, I'm not playing the blame game. I'm not wooing and crying and just because of things happen in life. No, 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 no. I take control and I take full responsibility for whatever happens in my life. That's my motto. That's how I operate. Right. So there's things that happen in life that I'm not so happy about and I had less control over. For example, when I was in the military, one of the biggest reasons I decided that I was going to exit stage left from the military was because the lack of control. Part of it can be, really great for many, many people. It's helped people, including me, to be in certain positions, etc. However, what meant more to me is being free from that, from the military's control. Right? When I was in the Air Force, it controlled, where I lived, like what state and city and stuff I lived in. It controlled the people that I worked with and around me, things of that sort. And there was times and situations and at bases and stations that it just I wasn't feeling it. The people around me were extremely negative, or they were just not my type of people, not the people that I would associate with. No, some people just weren't my cup of tea, right? As the saying goes, they just weren't my cup of tea. If I had it my way, they would not be in my space, my environment, nowhere near me. They would not have been allowed anywhere near where I was, right? However, in the military, I had no control over that. Wherever they assign people to and whoever they tell me I had to work with, etc., that's what I did. Now, those situations, yes, it helps me to be better and better equipped to work with people of all different types of personalities, people that I didn't care to work with, etc. Hey, that type of thing did help me in those situations, but I know for sure that it wasn't going to be a long-term thing, right? So what I decided to do is take control of my life, right? I controlled what I could control. So during that time, there was a time came and I was in the military. I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to go real heavy on my exit strategy. And that's what I called it. And people call it my exit strategy. Like we talk a lot about in real estate, having that exit strategy. Well, in the military, I had my exit strategy. I know what I needed to do. I know how much money I wanted to save. And that's what I did, right? So during that time, I know how much time I had left on my contract to the date, because that's just how it works, right? You have a military contract. It tells you the exact date that your contract is up. So it helped me a lot with my timeline. So what I did, again, I saved for the times that I knew I was going to get out. I saved to have a certain lifestyle when I did get out, and just put things in place that I could control, right? I controlled what I could control. During that time, I still control who the military was placing in my environment. I still couldn't have control necessarily all the assignments or the task or whatever the military assigned to me. I did those things, but I control what I can control. What I focused on was the things that I could control. I could control my time outside. So that's what I was focusing on. I can control my energy while I was in and what I did, right? How I handled certain situations. I can control all of that. And that's what I did, right? I took responsibility for me, and controlled what I can control. I wasn't whining and crying about, oh, this person is here or this person so this and that. Like, no, that started to be like, there was a point in time, check out the episode, Energy is Contagious. And I kind of talked on about a little bit about some of that stuff going on. But there was a time where it's just people, just super toxic environment. I let it like bother me for a little bit, but then I snap up out of that thing and started to focus on the things that I could control. And that's what I did. So I want you to know that there is ways in certain situations that seemingly like that may seem impossible, right? Like, oh, this is horrible. There's no good side to, whatever. In those situations, I want you to really take the time to see, like, what can you control here? What is it really that you can control? For example, there's times where my wife may irritate me, right? And if she does irritate me, you know what I have control over? I have control over telling her, expressing to her that, hey, babe, this irritated me. Or like, hey, babe, I don't like when you do X, Y, Z, whatever, right? I have control over that, voicing that. And I also have control over how I respond to the irritation, right? What I do not have control over is what she does or does not do about it. There's no reason for me to get all worked up or upset or whatever about the things I cannot control. I can if I get upset or get mad or whatever, what it is, I'm making a choice to do that. Right? So same way I can make a choice to get upset or mad, I just choose, like literally y'all, I live by this. I choose joy in trying times and situations that I just don't agree with. I literally say to myself, you know what? I choose joy. That's why I believe in joyful styles so much. The message behind that. We do have the power, y'all. We do. Choose. I choose joy every single time, regardless. Again, I get upset sometimes or I get sad but those things are very brief because again, when I tell myself I choose joy, it's a constant reminder to me. I choose joy. I live a joyful styles lifestyle. Joyful. I choose joy. It just feels life is so much better that way. Just living with the joy instead of the anger or the sadness or the just discomfort. Like that stuff does not help me in any way. And likely it may not be helping you either. Just evaluate those situations. And remember, you always have a choice on how you respond to situations. We can't control other people's actions. We can't control, certain work environments. We can control what we do about these actions or these environments. But certain things itself, we don't necessarily have control over that. It's about controlling your controllables. And you have control to control your controllables. Like I'm telling you, it does not have to be something that lingers on in you. You're upset or mad for a whole career, right? For some of you, that's, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? For me, that's a miserable way of living. And I choose not to live that way, right? Again, I choose joy. I choose to look at the bright side of things. I choose to focus more on the things that I can control, not anybody else, not different situations. I just focus on controlling what I can control. Let me tell y'all some of the things that for sure you have control over is in areas of your finances, right? So you may not control at this moment how much you make from your job. However, there's something that you can control. There's options, right? You can get another job. You can get a second job. I don't necessarily recommend it for, time purposes. We'll get there. or you can do something for yourself, start your own business, or help somebody else with their business, or whatever, right? There's options, right? So you can increase that and have more control over your finance. You can invest. That's what I definitely recommend. Like I ain't getting into what to invest in, but personally, that's like the ultimate goal for me to have XYZ investments so that it's really, I'm really, really, really in control of those finances. But also, currently in my life, I have control over my time. I choose what I want to do, what I don't want to do, or how I utilize my time, right? Who I want to hang out with, who I don't want to hang out with, who I want to work around, who I don't want to work around. I control that now. I control my time. So if you're not someone who's just in control, complete control of your time, right? You can control what you utilize your time on, right? If you're at work, and whatever's happening at work, just focus on getting the work done, moving on, and controlling it. Whatever else you do with your time, you can focus on and control what you do with your time once you get off of work, what you do before work, even. Like, you have control over that stuff. Me personally, another thing I definitely love is having control over my energy, right? In my energy, like, I'm telling you, like, it's so important. Like, it's, to me, like, it's so funny. Like, for years now, people always would say to me, "Oh my gosh, I love your energy. I love your energy. I love your energy." And I didn't necessarily understand how important that was, or just, what it really was, until I started seeing more things. I started coaching more people, started just observing certain things, situation, etc. But it's like, this is me. This is how I am. This is who I choose to be and how I choose to be. And you know what's happening? People are loving that as well. They're loving to be more around me more, right? Think about it now. You might have friends or family members. There's some of them, they're like, yo, a whole vibe. Some of them a whole vibe. And you love being around them. You love how it is when y'all together, right? That could be family members, friends, a relationship, right? Then you have those family member friends, or maybe even a significant other, who's just like super negative, energy sucking, draining type energy, right? And it's like, like, you don't necessarily want to be around those folks. Some of you may want that if that's your type of energy as well. I hope not, because it's not going to be that beneficial for you, maybe as much as you think. I'm telling you. And one of the books that I read is like, look, I don't know what your goals are, but I'm going to tell you, there is no such thing as a rich victim. There's not. So if you're looking to be, increase those finances, be rich, wealthy, etc., you can't continue playing the victim your whole life. That's just a little message for you. You choose to do whatever you want with that information. But this is about controlling what you can control, controlling your controllables. That's what we're doing. Control your controllables. Remember, it may not be the environment. It may not be the people that you work with, but you can control how you respond to each and every situation, no matter what it is. You can control how you distribute your time before, during, after work, whatever, right? Or if you want to work at all. Some of us, right, have that option. Control your controllables. That's it for y'all today. Control your controllables. The next time you're in a situation when there's someone just irking your nerve, or just, you ain't feeling, you don't want to be in a space like with them, etc., can focus on controlling what you can control. And that's you. Really. That's you. For the most part, right? There's asterisks, there are medical reasons, etc. We're not going to get into all that. But typically speaking, you can control you, your actions, and what you do about certain situations. If you're unhappy right now with a situation or with things that goes on in life, you have control over what you can do about those things, right? Right now, if you have some type of concern about the boundaries in your life, you can control what you can do about that. Me, I'm a boundaries coach. I coach people and help them put their healthy and effective boundaries in place. Message me, Boundaries and More Podcasts on IG, and we can talk about that. If that's something that you truly, truly want to get through and pass, you can control what you do about certain situations. You can get a coach. You can Google some stuff. You can do whatever. But I'm just saying, like, to get results, we got to do some things differently, right? We can't always do what we've always done because we'll be in the same spot. For some people, that's an amazing spot to be in. Keep doing what you're doing if it's working. If it's not working and you're not getting the results that you want, do something different. Control your controllables. You have control over what you do next, right? When you cut this podcast off, you have control of what happens next. Keep that in mind. Control your controllables. All right, now for real, that's it for today. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching, listening, and just being here with me. I really do this for you all. God lays these certain messages on my heart, and I'm just like, yep, let me get it out there. Let me put it out there. However I can serve, I'm here. I'm here to help, to make that impact, to help you improve your lives. It's important to me, and that's my mission. Really and truly, I have such a heart for this since I was young. But when I realized what my gift was, I'm like, okay, it's time to take this thing to another level. And that's what I'm doing, controlling what I can control, right? God gave me these gifts and I'm controlling, moving in these gifts, right? How I'm operating in it to be better and help you all in the biggest ways that I can. But you all, please go out there and have an amazingly beautiful day. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. That's Boundaries and More Podcast on Instagram. Let's hang out. Let's talk over there. If you got anything you want to comment, write, let me know. Let's go deeper if you need to. For your specific situation, we can do that as well. I'm about that life. I can help you be about that life too. I promise you. However I can add value to you, I will. Guaranteed. Okay? Guaranteed. So again, you all go out and have an absolutely beautiful day. Make sure you control what you can control. Control your controllables. See y'all. Nope. Talk to y'all next week.